What would you do if the woman you loved, the one you built a life with, shattered your entire world with a single, careless click? I never thought I would be standing here, recounting the night everything broke. It was a Tuesday, 2 a.m., the soft glow of her laptop screen illuminating the bedroom. She'd fallen asleep, her email still open, a new message blinking. My heart hammered against my ribs, a premonition of dread chilling me to the bone. The subject line read, "Last night was incredible. Can't wait for Chicago." Chicago. We hadn't planned a trip. My breath hitched, and the world tilted on its axis. I knew in that instant my life was irrevocably over. The next few weeks were a blur of forced smiles and internal screaming. Sarah, my wife of 10 years, moved through our beautiful home in Dallas, Texas, like a ghost. But not a haunted one, a haunting one. Her laughter felt hollow, her kisses like a stranger's. The humiliation was a physical weight, pressing down on my chest, making it hard to breathe. I felt like a fool, a cuckold, a man whose entire existence had been a lie. The man in the email, a Mark, was a colleague she'd mentioned once or twice. Just a work thing, she'd said. The casual dismissal now echoed like a death knell. Her behavior grew increasingly erratic. Late nights at the office, vague excuses. A new phone she guarded like a hawk. She started dressing differently, a subtle shift from her usual elegant style to something more provocative, more desperate. One evening, I saw a receipt for a boutique on McKinney Avenue, a place she never shopped. It was for a silk negligee. My stomach churned. I knew it wasn't for me. The slow discovery was agonizing. Each text notification, each hushed phone call, a fresh stab to my already bleeding heart. I started checking her car mileage, cross-referencing her work trips with hotel bookings I found under an alias. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, forming a picture of betrayal so vivid it burned my eyes. Sarah became cold, manipulative. She'd pick fights over trivial things, twisting my words, making me feel like I was the problem. "You're so insecure, David," she'd sneer, her eyes devoid of the warmth I once adored. "Maybe if you paid more attention to me, I wouldn't feel so neglected." The gaslighting was masterful. It's designed to make me doubt my sanity, to make me believe her affair was somehow my fault. Mark, the affair partner, was a smug, arrogant bastard I'd seen at a company picnic once. He had that self-satisfied smirk, the kind that screamed, "I get what I want." I imagined him laughing at me, at my naivety, at the life he was so casually dismantling. They felt untouchable, basking in their illicit glow, convinced they were too clever to be caught. I remember one night, sitting alone in our living room, the city lights of Dallas twinkling outside the window, feeling an emptiness so profound it threatened to swallow me whole. I cried until my eyes were raw, till there were no more tears left. That was the night David, the loyal, loving husband, died. In his place, a new man was born, one fueled by a cold, calculated rage. I would not just survive this, I would make them pay. Every tear I shed, every sleepless night, every ounce of humiliation would be repaid with interest. My revenge began subtly. I started gathering proof meticulously. I installed spyware on her laptop, a small program that mirrored her emails and messages to a secure server. I hired a private investigator, a quiet man named Frank, who provided me with irrefutable photographic evidence. Of Sarah and Mark at the Omni Dallas Hotel, then later at a secluded Airbnb in Austin, I documented every financial transaction, every gift she bought him, every secret rendezvous. I built a fortress of evidence, brick by painstaking brick, ensuring there would be no escape, no denial. I consulted with a divorce attorney, a sharp woman named Miss Albright, who specialized in high-asset cases. She laid out the legal landscape, the traps I could set, the leverage I could gain. I learned about marital misconduct laws, about asset division, about reputation management. The social traps were next. Sarah was obsessed with her image, her carefully curated life among the Dallas elite. I started planting seeds of doubt, subtle whispers among mutual friends about her unusual work schedule and newfound independence. I created an anonymous social media account posting cryptic messages. It's about corporate affairs and unfaithful spouses that, to anyone in our circle, would clearly point to Sarah and Mark. Without directly naming them, the goal wasn't immediate exposure, but a slow, creeping unease. a foundation of suspicion that would make the eventual reveal all the more devastating. The day of public exposure arrived with the precision of a well-oiled machine. It was during the annual charity gala at the Dallas Arts District, an event Sarah always prided herself on co-hosting. As she stood on stage, radiant in a designer gown, preparing to give her speech, a large screen behind her flickered to life. It wasn't a technical glitch. It was a slideshow.
Nice.
Photos of Sarah and Mark, intimate and undeniable, flashed across the screen. Text messages, explicit and damning, scrolled beneath them. The murmurs started, then gasps, then a stunned silence. Sarah's face drained of color, her carefully constructed facade crumbling before hundreds of shocked eyes. Mark, who was in the audience, tried to slip away, but the spotlight found him, his smug expression replaced by pure terror. The fallout was immediate and catastrophic. The divorce proceedings were brutal, but with my mountain of evidence, Sarah had no ground to stand on. She lost everything. Her share of our assets, her reputation, her social standing. The charity board removed her, her friends vanished, and her career was in tatters. Mark was fired from his job, his professional life destroyed. The legal battle was a formality. The social destruction was the true victory. I watched from a distance, a quiet observer, as her world imploded. There were no shouts, no dramatic confrontations, just the cold, hard reality of consequences. Months later, I saw her once, across a crowded coffee shop in downtown Chicago, where she'd apparently moved, looked tired, hollow, a shadow of the vibrant woman she once was. She didn't see me. I simply watched a ghost in her new, desolate life. The revenge was complete, but it left no taste of triumph, only a profound, chilling emptiness. The silence that followed was the loudest sound I had ever heard. The end.